Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Let's get after it.
Now, before the flood came, during this period right here, during that period from the creation till the flood, according to the Bible, the people lived to be over 900 years old. Read Genesis 5. It could not be more clear. Adam was 930 when he died. The biggest pterosaur flying over the inland sea is a pteranodon. Like all reptiles, it grows throughout its life. You know, reptiles grow all their life. Sharks aren't the only animal that keeps growing. Lizards, snakes, amphibians, and coral. These are called indeterminate growers. They never stop. So the dinosaurs were simply big lizards that lived with Adam and Eve, because that was the time when people are living to be 900. I think we could assume things were different and everything was living much longer. After the flood, lifespans dropped off to 400, then 200, then 100. So I think some of the larger species of dinosaurs simply died out in the new climate. Dinosaurs had two problems. One, they died because of climate change. Two, people hunted them. But back in those days, they called them dragons. The Bible talks about dragons, though, quite a bit. It says the poison of dragons, that breaks the head of the dragons. Dragons mentioned 34 times in the Bible. Dragons are mentioned in all ancient cultures. The Chinese zodiac has 12 animals on there. Why is this one, a dragon, mixed in with 11 animals that are still around today? Could it be when they made up their zodiac, they were all 12 still alive? Alexander the Great reported his soldiers were scared by dragons when they conquered part of India in 300 BC. There's a Roman mosaic from about the time of Christ, 2nd century AD, showing two long-necked dragons fighting. There's a brass carving in England in a church. They keep it under a rug up at the front of the church. You have to know where you're going and specifically ask when they give you the tour of this ancient church. Could you pull that rug back? I'd like to see the dragon. Okay. And they'll show you the two long-necked dragons. There's dinosaurs on ancient artwork and pottery all over the world. We got a whole section of our museum here at Dinosaur Adventureland with cool stuff showing dinosaurs living with man. The walls of the ancient city of Babylon, built about 600 BC, show lions built right into the brickwork and dragons. Why would they put dragons on a wall in 600 BC? Because there were some still alive.
And after seeing all of that, if you still believe that dinosaurs were lizards that only lived millions of years ago, you just don't want to believe. I feel like the evidence for dragons being real is overwhelming. Not only do we have all of these ancient depictions, but we also have the skeletal remains of dragons. We're just lied to and told it's something else. What's the purpose for the deception, though? What are they really achieving by lying to us about the existence of dragons? It can't just be an attempt to hide proof of the Bible. It has to be more than that.
If you're a dinosaur fan, hear me out. This is a T-Rex. And these are the stupid little T-Rex arms. It never made sense to me. Like, what's the point of those little teeny arms? So I looked up the skeleton to see what it would look like, and I was like, oh, look it, there they are, the little cute arms, adorable. But then I looked again, and I realized something, and I'm about to blow your mind. This is the skeleton of an ostrich. Want to see another? Oh, there you go. The T-Rex did not have arms. It had wings. I think I just made history. It's a dragon.
So I've heard this theory before, and it totally makes sense. We have all of these non-flying birds with wings, and they just assume that the giant version of skeletal remains they found that looks identical to that has arms instead of wings. I don't think the T-Rex could fly, but likely had non-working wings like some of the big birds we have around today that can't fly.
Crazy. This is what the ChatGPT AI responded when I asked it to type out the secret for me. I ended up finding a video of this woman right here reading it.
The secret was created by none other than the Rockefellers, and maybe even someone even higher than them, let's be honest. But this is their secret in their closets, things that they wanted to follow. And if you're a conspiracy theorist or a critical thinker and you're aware of what's been going on in the world, you're going to know exactly how suitable this is. This is written word for word, and I want to read it to you, okay? So bear with me. The secret, an illusion, it will be so large, so vast, it will escape their perception. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. We'll create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. We will behave as if we are not connected to keep the illusion alive. Our goal will be accomplished one drop at a time so as to never bring suspicion upon ourselves. This will also prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. We will always stand above the relative field of their experience, for we know the secrets of the absolute. We will work together always, and we will remain bound by blood and secrecy. Death will come to he who speaks. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so that they will never see what's happening. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in food and water, also in the air. They will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. The soft metals will cause them to lose their mind, will promise...
I don't know where she's getting that from. I doubt ChatGPT has access to the secret covenant of the Rockefellers. That's not to say they aren't up to no good. That's obvious. I just don't see what this is supposed to prove.
Well, some breaking news. Congress has been briefed on a object heading towards Earth discovered by the James Webb Telescope. I'm going to play this live now. It's about an hour and something long. I'm only going to play a short clip of it. If you want to go and watch the full live, please go over to the Vetted channel, which is on YouTube, hosted by Patrick. On there, there's Simon Holland is on there, you've got Pavel that's on there, and you've got the guy from the night shift. And Simon gave some fascinating information on what has been discovered really by James. We've basically already discovered we are not alone. But this being put in the hands now of Congress, being told that there is something heading towards planet Earth, what the hell is it? This needs to be released to people, so please take a look at this.
I actually can give you like a time frame of when it all started. I saw a video of Simon talking about the SETI modulation that was found in the early 2000s, and I made a video about it, and I reached out to him, and he was really gracious to go on the channel for the first time, and we talked about this. And since then I've been following the story, talking to people on my end. I've been hearing rumblings about James Webb, and to be honest, if there's something or someone that's going to reveal anything of substance in terms of disclosure, I don't think it's going to come from the government. I think it's going to come from James Webb or scientists or YouTube, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
And then last Sunday, I saw Matt Ford interviewing Lou Elizondo, and he asked him an unsettling question that made me connect the dots. And I asked around, and I got that information about Congress, people in Congress being briefed about James Webb, and something that has been going around for a while now, apparently.
And what did they brief them on about James Webb?
I am only comfortable saying the stuff that is not like going to potentially scare people, because I don't like that. I'm not down with doomers or anything like that. So they're being briefed about that. James Webb confirmed two things, allegedly. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah, allegedly.
One is that these lights may have been spotted about 0.9 light years away. If that information is inaccurate, maybe Simon can help out, fill in the blanks. And the other one is the one that made me do the video, which is that people are being told that they spotted an object that is not natural because it course corrected, that is allegedly approaching here. So that's not something.
So let me see if I understand this correctly. There may be something headed for Earth, a non-human object potentially. Is that the theory? Again, this is all allegedly, but we're spitballing.
That's what That's what I was told, that they're telling people in Congress.
Yeah, and do you think like a craft? We don't know.
They just said an object.
An object. Yeah.
Now that's just a short clip. There is much more that is spoken about in this live, about lights, that instant travel that they have from Omaha to, I can't remember the other thing. They have the technology already to be able to, usually it takes 30 minutes to tell the rover on Mars to turn left, for example. They can now do that instantly, so they can actually move that robot instantaneously, which is something we thought we couldn't have, this quantum instant communication. We now have that. This is what Simon Holland speaks about, so everybody needs to go and please watch this live. If you would like me to share it, I can break it down. It's about an hour and just under 2 hours. I can break it down into 30-minute parts or something and put it on my TikTok channel. Just let me know which you'd rather me do.
I wish I could believe this. I don't know who those guys are or where they're getting their information, so I'm not going to sit here and say definitively that they're all wrong. That would be pretty ignorant of me. I just can't help but feel like this is another story that's going to go nowhere, something we'll never hear about again. There's just too many times that's happened here lately, and it's starting to get exhausting.
These three guys figured out how to regrow teeth using frequency. The problem is, this was in 2006. It's 2024 now. Where's this technology? So they basically use something called low-intensity pulsed ultrasound, massages the gums to stimulate the jaws, and encourages growth in the roots of the teeth and aids healing in dental tissue. This guy claims that the root is broken, it can now be fixed, and because we can regrow the teeth root, a patient could have his own tooth rather than foreign objects in his mouth. Keep in mind though, this would disrupt the industry of fillings, root canals, just about every damn near dental procedure that there is. The way they figured out this worked before they tried it on humans was that they did it on rabbits, which was published in the American Journal of Orthodontics. He then tested the technique on people who needed to get their teeth pulled. Participants held the bulky ultrasound device for 20 minutes a day for 4 weeks against a tooth that had a problem, such as erosion after a root canal. When he looked at the extracted teeth under the microscope, he found new tissue was added to the roots of the treated teeth, but not to the untreated ones. It's just interesting that we don't hear anything about this. It's been so long. I wonder if this is an example of suppressed technologies.
I'm sure that's exactly what's going on. They don't want you to be able to regrow your own teeth, then you wouldn't be willing to fork over so much cash for fake ones. But don't worry, the government has your best interest at heart.
You guys heard about this? What the fuck is going on? We're getting another moon? 2 moons for 2 months. It's almost like we're going to be living life in a sci-fi movie. So an asteroid has broken away from its asteroid belt and is now coming towards Earth. Fuck knows what's going to happen with the gravity on the planet now, but for 2 months we're going to have a new celestial orbit just hanging around in the sky that you'll be able to see. This asteroid that's going to be entering our peripheral is known as something like the PT5 asteroid, aka an Arjun asteroid. There's a definition as to what that is right here, and the reason why it's called an Arjun asteroid is it's based off of a character from a Hindu epic known as the Mahabharata. You may have heard this guy talk about it. Now, in order for this peculiar phenomenon to happen, something strange has to happen to this asteroid belt. So one of the asteroid has to break away, so PT5 has done that. The second thing that has to happen is it has to come into close contact with Earth at around 2.8 million miles away. I know that's not particularly close, but bear with me. The final thing that it has to do is it actually has to slow down within the Earth's orbit so that it doesn't cause a catastrophic event. So it slows down to around 2,200 miles per hour, which is around 3,500 kilometers per hour. And then off the back of that, it will stay in our orbit for around 2 months as a moon, and then it will just continue its trajectory back towards the asteroid belt and orbiting the sun again. Never in my life did I expect to see 2 moons in my lifetime, so it's pretty interesting and quite fascinating to see. What do you think the outcome of it's going to be for our planet and people in general? Do you think something weird's going to happen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Share this with a friend because we're going to have 2 moons for 2 months from September 29th. Exciting times! Any questions, put them in the comments. Obviously, I don't trust these sources as far as I can throw them because a lot of stuff on the internet is fake, but this seems pretty probable, and I guess we'll know more on September 29th. Thanks very much for your time. Have a great and beautiful day. Peace.
Do y'all believe this? I guess we'll see in about a week and a half. I can't help but wonder, though, if this is them trying to prepare us for a test run of Project Bluebeam. Maybe they plan to fake 2 moons in the sky to see how many people believe the story. I would think that if this were true, it would be everywhere in the news. It's just 9 days from now that we're supposed to see these 2 moons in the sky, which is going to freak people out, and I'm just not hearing about it. That just doesn't make any sense. Something doesn't add up here.
This is unreal. This should not be happening. Oh! I just got shocked. I'm not joking. And like, it was a pretty good bite. I got my voltmeter right here. I obviously can't use this as the ground because it's shocking me. So there you go, Earth, sure. This is where I was talking to Nate and I was pointing this out. 120 volts on my lug. And no, it gets better. It's the whole body. 120. This. Ah! I'm not joking. This is insane. Here we go. So, I'm not going to change anything because I know everybody's going to be like, oh, this isn't real. This is. Okay. All right. So there's that. Here, you know, I'll just put it right on the body. Tuck it right here. Now, all I'm going to do is plug the charger in. Oh my gosh! Take it out. 0. So yeah, anyways, it's got wireless charging as well as outlets. So that's really neat.
Yeah, I feel like Elon needs to address this video before it goes viral. A manufacturing flaw like that's going to end up killing somebody. I'm starting to feel bad for everyone who bought a Cybertruck. You can literally tear pieces off of it with your bare hands, and now it has a built-in electrocution feature. It's not exactly sounding like the product Tesla promised.
The air we're breathing now is 21% oxygen. If the atmosphere originally was 35% oxygen and double the air pressure, just breathing would be exciting. Because what happens under those conditions, not only does your hemoglobin take on oxygen, your plasma will get oxygen saturated, which means you could run for hundreds of miles without getting tired. Jessica was 18 months old. She slid down 20 feet inside an 8-inch pipe. When they finally got her out, her right leg was completely black from lack of circulation. One of the doctors said, "We have to cut her leg off right now." Another doctor said, "Let's try putting her in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber." They put Jessica in one of these things and pumped it up to double normal pressure. Within a few hours, her leg turned pink. West Germany is treating stroke patients with hyperbaric oxygen. England treats multiple sclerosis. In France, they treat arthritis. Many countries are learning just simple high pressure cures lots and lots of problems.
And the over-oxygenated air would account for the enormity of the people and creatures who walk the earth in biblical times. Things get bigger when they have more oxygen to breathe in. I wish I lived close enough to it. I would go to that guy's church. It's like getting a Bible lesson from a college professor. I just love the way he explains things and pieces things together.
Major breaking news, guys. This is something out of a sci-fi movie. 8 people unalived, 3,000 injured as pagers explode simultaneously around the country of Lebanon. Let's talk about this because this is literally one of the most frightening things I've ever seen in my life, actually. The fact that every one of the pager, I know who uses a pager anymore, but they have batteries in them and they have circuit boards in them. And if someone wished, which they did, and they've done this now, and the name of who did this is in the article, you can go ahead and read about it. I can't mention their name because it'll probably get censored. But a certain country did this and made every single pager explode. So 8 people unalive, 3,000 injured, if they're in their pockets, if it lit their house on fire, whatever. Here's the important part. We all have phones. A very similar thing could happen to us. If someone wants to, our phones could do this too. Literally out of a sci-fi movie, guys. Terrifying. This should be illegal. Why does this certain country get away with tormenting and terrorizing the entire world? Why are they allowed to do this to people, please? And please don't ever forget what I said about your phone and that this could happen to your phone. In my prediction, in my opinion, that's not fact, but it's a very similar setup. And we've all seen it in movies before, so keep it in mind. Maybe put it somewhere safe when you go to bed. Maybe don't carry it around in your pocket unless you have to. Things are getting weird. Welcome to 2024.
When this story first broke, I couldn't help but think about all the disaster preparedness videos that I've seen talking about downloading this on your phone or downloading that on your phone and building up a registry of survivalist videos to reference in the aftermath. If this is something we have to worry about now, and apparently it is, we may all need a new game plan. It sounds like anything with a battery in it isn't an option anymore.
A Russian scientist injected himself with this ancient bacteria to see what would happen. Dr. Anatoly Brushkov discovered bacteria deep within the permafrost of Siberia that was 3.5 million years old, and somehow it was still alive. It was named Bacillus F, and after doing some experiments on it, he realized the bacteria not only seemed to be immune to aging, but also appeared to have a life-extending effect on almost every organism it touched. He tested the strain on female mice who were able to continue reproducing into old age, much older than the average mice could, and when he exposed it to crops, they grew faster and were more frost-resistant. The town of Yakut, Siberia, close to where this bacteria was found, also happens to be one of the coldest human settlements on Earth, with their population reporting longer lifespans than average humans, perhaps due to Bacillus F leaking into their water supply. Dr. Brushkov was so convinced he said it and injected himself with the ancient bacterium to test it out firsthand. 2 years later, he reported dramatic improvements to his general health, claiming to need less sleep, working longer hours, and just having more energy in his day-to-day life. He also allegedly hasn't gotten sick since he injected himself with it, with him and his colleagues started to call it the elixir of life. Dr. Brushkov did this in 2013 and claims to be in the best health of his life today. And I'm sure Big Pharma loves the idea of a miracle life potion that would potentially lose them billions of dollars a year in revenue, so we definitely definitely should not question any articles that debunk this find. To be fair, these effects aren't exactly 100% confirmed and could very well be a placebo effect, but that sure didn't stop others from hopping on the Bacillus F bandwagon. German actress Manouche began self-medicating the bacteria and reported being able to go for longer runs, feeling less cold in the winter, and her skin just feeling softer and younger. Brushkov and his team insist the effects of Bacillus F are clear and significant, although they admit they're not yet sure why it has the effect it does. But if they can manage to isolate the gene responsible for the positive benefits of the bacteria, they may have just discovered the ultimate elixir of life. As long as there isn't, you know, a whole ass industry with infinite money that tries to stop it.
I can't help but feel like this is going to get shelved. I don't even know if I believe that it does everything they claim it does, but if it does half of what they claim, it'll never come to market. They don't want people to start living longer and without ailment. Then they wouldn't be able to siphon people into the medical industry and get their hands in their wallets.
Elsa McIntosh and her family had just moved into a new home. Everything was going just fine. The house was just the way they wanted, but there was this room that had been locked for the past 6 years. It didn't take long, however, for them to completely regret their decision, and this is what happened. Check this out.
Keep removed. Oh, okay, hold on. Give me the lighter. I need to light it.
Okay, why did that take so long? Was it the wrong key?
Is there candles in there?
Why would there be candles? Grandpa crazy. Oh, it's just a bedroom? Are you going in?
No, I'm getting a bad feeling about this.
I don't feel good. No, I don't.
This is why white people die in movies, bruh.
As soon as they get inside, they start feeling unwell. And this is when they come face to face with what appears to be a Santa Claus doll locked inside of a wooden box.
Why is Santa Claus locked up?
Completely creeped out, they get this stick of Palo Santo in hopes to cleanse the room, taking into consideration that most of them were feeling unwell while inside of it. And this is when things take a really dark turn. Check this out.
Not welcome here.
Oh, my head's itching. I
If
think
there's
there's
any
lights
spirits
in here.
leave. You are not welcome.
Why is Santa Claus locked up?
That's what that thing's creepy.
Why, Santa, why are you locked up? It could be an object in here.
Yeah.
Did your grandpa ever think about that? Like, it could be an object. You could just burn the whole room. What are you doing in the closet, dude?
Oh, my back's burning.
Is it really?
Bitch, my back's burning.
Oh my god. No, you're kidding.
Stop.
No, get out. Get out. Get out.
You
Get out.
have
Get out.
scratch marks up your back.
Stop. No, you did. Stop, you're giving me anxiety.
Oh my god.
You're kidding, right? You're kidding.
No.
Look.
Honestly, I think this kid either scratched his own back, because you can clearly see him grabbing and pulling at his pants and shirt in that area earlier in the video, or they just opened a room with a serious bedbug infestation. I've seen people with whelps on them that look like scratch marks from bedbugs. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I've worked in a lot of apartment complexes and I've seen infestations that were bad enough that people had a reaction the moment they entered the room. But guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right there. I hope you enjoyed these clips we watched together today. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. I hope you come back to join me. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and check out www.barry-stepp.com if you'd like to order yourself a shirt or a hat. Also, don't forget to post your photos of your merch over in the Discord to get your photo in a video. But with all that out of the way, I hope everyone has a great, safe, fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow.